intro thing on. There it goes.
Oh, here, I'll put this down here. Yeah, he had a great time.
Okay, welcome. How's it going, Brooke? How you doing today?
Hi. I'm really, really good. I'm really good.
I'm glad to have you up here, and it's going to be a lot of fun to do some vibe coding. It's more fun to do it with other people.
For
Funny how that
sure.
works.
For
Yeah.
sure. It's
And I know you've had a little bit of experience doing some vibe coding, and so I think it would be good to get both of our like perspectives on this as we build something together, which is like something you couldn't say a long time ago. Like, who would have thought you can just sit on a stream and write code together?
right.
Isn't that cool?
Right. Exactly. Um, you know what I'm doing right this minute is I'm actually going live on TikTok. And
Amazing.
so this will be really interesting. If anybody is like watching this and wants to also go watch my TikTok, uh oh, that's not working. Okay, let me fuck with that in a minute.
I can
Yeah,
talk
so
and cover for you as you set up TikTok easily.
well, I feel like there's just too many things. Like, why TikTok are you making this so complicated? It should just be like the same, or just like
Sure.
have an option in StreamYard. I got to take a picture of like, because I travel full time. So, like, when I'm at my parents', I have like all this makeshift, like it's in the storage unit. I bring it over. There's all these, they'll actually let me just keep it up. But there's two cameras. There's like a whole like microphone thing because you can't just like add it to StreamYard. It's super dumb.
Mhm.
But yes, ever since, so I have a computer science degree from 1999. Well,
Nice.
let's see. No, I graduated in like 2000. And then, but that was like way back in the day when it was like COBOL and Fortran and
Yeah.
C++ and
Mhm.
all of that stuff. So nowadays, like just the just the amount of amazing tools that are, like, available to people, it
Mhm.
blows my mind. It blew my mind back then, and
Mhm.
like, even more
It's
so
totally
now
different
that
today.
you can
Yeah.
yeah, you can just, like, you could just do things.
You
You
could
can
just
just
do
build
things.
things.
Yeah.
You can just do things and
I
say
mean,
things.
it's kind
It's
of
awesome.
interesting because it's like if you go back to like writing code in the 70s, like who had access to write code in
Right,
the 70s? Like very few people
right.
knew how to do it or why or and sometimes they're playing
They had
video like
punch
writing
cards.
video game. Yeah, yeah, you're like writing code with a punch card basically. And you're like now we like
Yep,
verbally communicate to cursor and it makes
right.
magic for us. It's
So
crazy.
wild. So wild. I
That's
love it,
cool.
I love
I'm
it. And,
so I'm
yeah,
glad
I've been building some
you go ahead.
is there a lag? It I don't know
It's
if
like a
it's
couple
me.
seconds. Yeah, it could be both
Oh,
of us.
sorry.
It's okay.
It's probably because I have all these things going on. No, it's just really cool. Like you can sit down and be like, "Oh, I want to build this. I want to do this one thing," and just tell it to do it, and it does it. I've
Mhm.
been using Replit a lot just for like MVPs and like when that first came out, the Replit, uh, what would you call that? Like co-coding.
I haven't used
It
Replit
was just
actually.
oh, it's really cool, and it because it goes like from idea to
Mhm,
deployment. Like
mhm,
it, but it's it's not as robust. You can't really like put the code base like out as well as you can with something that's like more customized. The other thing too that I was asking somebody the other day, like when people say, "Oh, you don't have to have any coding experience," that's
mhm,
necessarily true. Like the, true, you don't have to have any experience, but you do have to be able to understand what's happening.
that's
You have
right.
to understand the outputs. Like, sorry, not sorry. We're not really there yet that, you can just like, sit down with a robot next to you and like,
Mhm,
and it all just happens for you. You still do have to understand prompting and understand like, what's happening on the screen. What are these words? Like
mhm.
you do have to do a little bit and understand a little bit. But it is wild that it's like you can just do things.
You can
Yeah,
just do
look
things.
what
Yeah.
Replit is.
I am yeah, I was pulling up a comment here of, someone says next is going to be the neurological vibe coding. Yeah, we've just been a vibe with our. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's
Yes.
that crazy. The idea of like vibe
No.
coding with your brain and not even having an interface to work with.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah, I mean, like it's all just prompting at the end of the day. So we're almost there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
Replit looks cool. So would you say Replit is something that people that have a little bit less experience
Yes.
should try out?
Absolutely. Try so here's the other thing too, like V0 was the one I very, very started with, and it's just not as user friendly. With that's the Vercel like
Right. Yeah.
option. And then when I started with Replit also for those people that are like thinking about going into software development, like I did a boot camp, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe it
Mhm.
was, and just to like do a refresher, and they use Replit like for um like learning stuff. So you're like doing these like tutorials and lessons, and then you submit the Replit uh like submission. You submit the
Mhm.
submission? Yeah, I have good words.
Mhm.
Um, you submit that like to your professors or whatever,
Mhm.
and then use that as like the educational tool. But then Replit came out with their co-coding,
Mhm.
whatever we call it.
Environment. Yeah.
And then you can just literally in the corner, once it's done previewing, you just hit deploy
Mhm.
and there it goes.
That's cool. That's very
It's
cool. So
pretty awesome.
maybe that's a good starting point for people that have very little experience writing.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like good guardrails probably for that. Or V0,
Yes.
yeah. We had Linda from Farcaster up last week, and she was giving some tips on using V0. And I've only
Oh yeah.
ever I started with Cursor because I was writing code without AI about a year ago, early Ethos days. And we are using a lot of Cursor for simple stuff like tab complete, or just like you're like writing
Mhm.
something and it like expects whatever you're going to type, and you're like, this is
Yep.
amazing. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
been a Cursor
'Cause even
maxi.
2 years ago, there was still ChatGPT, so
Mhm.
we were still vibe coding.
Mhm.
It was more debugging. Like,
Right.
when I was in that boot camp and I was like, "Okay, I'm relearning React and I'm relearning a couple of these things because like, I haven't been a software developer in a long time. Like, I
Mhm.
started doing more management stuff, and I'm more of
Mhm.
a consultant now. But during that boot camp, we would just run it through ChatGPT. We were still writing it, but there was that option uh of running it through and debugging it. So it wasn't
Mhm.
necessarily coding along with you and like, showing you a preview. But
Mhm.
if you get like stuck on something, you could just copy and paste it into ChatGPT and be like, where did I go wrong? And then it would just spit out some code. Then you'd have to go copy it, paste it back in.
Right.
So it was still a thing.
Mhm. Yeah. It's just like I feel like over the last 6 weeks, it's just gotten increasingly easier, and it is
Yeah.
crazy some of the stuff you can do.
It's so
Um,
crazy.
okay, so let me set the framing of what we're going to do today. For anyone
Okay.
who isn't familiar, we've built a lot of stuff on this live stream before. We've built a lot of stuff specifically for Ethos, or for our. Hold on, why can't I find the Dino.dev? Where's my? Okay, we'll do the spider graph one. In each of the sessions, I try to actually build something. So I try to say,
Yes.
okay, let's start from zero and let's build something up. Then you can come in here and type in, Brooke, what's your Twitter handle?
Brooke J. Lacey. Brooke
Let's
with an E, the letter J.
see how good. There it is. Okay,
There.
cool.
Yep.
So we built this spider graph. We did it with complete prompt engineering, or what vibe coding, whatever you want to call it. It pulls in what people have said about you from your Ethos profile, and then tries to assign it different categories based on like the contents of that. And so on
Okay.
this one, you have 11 reviews on Ethos. Basically, I think I can. Let me just pull up your Ethos
I'm just
profile.
so neutral. I wish that I had more time to like it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. I should have like gone hard today on like doing all the things I needed to do so that when you pulled up my ethos, it was like I
It was
was like a
like a
little
slam
embarrassed to be
dunk.
honest.
No, it's
At
fine.
least it's not negative, right? At least it's
But
not
look,
negative.
it's like, yeah, yeah, exactly. No, people are saying things like, oh, it's about content creation, good at sharing,
Yeah.
crypto champion. So you've got some stuff in here. And what our app basically did was say it looked at all the content. it passed it to an LLM. So that was one of the things we did a few times ago. And it just said like, okay, here are the different categories. Apparently you're 42% DCHID, 83% influencer, and 91% content
Ooh,
creator. And then you didn't
cool.
match any of the other ones. But so this was
Oh,
cool. We used Open Router. We were able to pass all of the information from the
didn't you add
ethos.
me to video people
Uh-huh,
though?
I did. Yeah, I did. But that
So,
wasn't something that we took into account here. Yeah, we only
oh,
took
got it.
into account what people say about you.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
They're all like, she's funny.
And then we gave more like weighting to vouches as an example and people with higher
Oh,
scores. And so
yeah.
that was a cool one because we did it basically entirely from, again, vibe coding, just write some stuff in here, see what people say about each other, pass it to the LLM, and it gives us these categories back.
Right. Have
We've
you explained to your audience and my audience what spawned this? Like, I know let's get into something and build, but like, I think it's probably good each time to maybe tell
Mhm.
people like, where did this come, what did ethos come out of? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, because you're,
Yeah, I mean, so with Ethos, one of the things that I really felt like was really interesting with Friend Tech. If you weren't familiar with Friend Tech, it was, this
yes.
place you bought a key, you got access to these people's channels, and it
Yep.
turned into this really interesting like social experiment. And what was interesting is it kind of mapped this concept of like what you said to what you did. And
Yeah.
what you said and what you did on chain is a very distant thing for most people. Like people say things on Twitter and then do something totally different on chain.
Yep.
Friend Tech showed us what that looks like really early on of like, what if you did tie your accountability of you as a trader to what you publicly say, what does your public presence say? And what if we
Right.
just kind of evolved that and brought in some of these missing reputation parameters that we otherwise have in
Right.
Web 2 and bring them to Web 3. Um,
So
and
good.
and so we have this concept of like, you have your own ethos profile here, and people have written reviews for you. They've said things about you, their personal experiences with you. You might even
Right.
have some people that have left, like I don't know what I hope our community will become bigger. So maybe you do know this person, maybe you
What?
don't. Yeah, there's often a lot of AI slop that slides in there.
Ah,
Um,
you can't avoid it. And that's like, you can just see
this is life now. It's like AI slop.
it really is.
Uh, so like, but what's cool is like everything here is weighted by reputation, and so people that have higher reputation scores, we basically give everyone a score based on what people say about them, and then we put that into uh, the weighting of how everything works on the system. So everything here is sorted by score. You've got Hunter here, who is the highest score of someone that has said anything about you. And it just helps people get a more comprehensive understanding of who is this
Right.
person, even though you don't know who they like physically are.
And it's because he invited me, right? Isn't that a part of it as well? Because
Yep.
he's got such a high
There is an invitation
score.
bond. Yeah. So like whenever he invites you, so you have all of these things that kind of make up your score and go into this calculation here. And yeah, one of the things is you got a little bit of extra score because his score was much higher when he invited you.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Very
that's kind
cool.
of ethos. And we try to put all this stuff on chain in a really easy way for other people to go observe it. And part of why we started doing these sessions is I wanted people to understand, okay, now that you have something like Ethos where we have 300,000 reviews almost already, millions of dollars
So
now
wild.
securing what reputation means, how do we then say, what could we build on top of this? What could
Right.
we what are some of the things again like this that allow us to go look at some of this data and say like, oh yeah, this person based on what other people say about them match up to these things or those
Right.
things. And so I've been leading this like crusade of vibe coding to help people understand, one, what is ethos, why is it interesting, and what are some of the things you could be building on top of it, but also more selfishly to most people, like how can you get into vibe coding, what are some like building on top of someone's API is a really easy way to build on, like, to vibe code something, because you don't necessarily have
Right.
to know like how to code, like all the data is already there for
Right.
you, you're really just kind of passing stuff around. um And so that's kind of what spawned the intent behind this, is like, let's give people an opportunity to go learn. Let's give people an opportunity to learn about Ethos, and
Yeah.
teach people. And we've
Yeah.
already seen a bunch of different success stories of people that have watched this and vibe coded their own app. They, weren't
Amazing.
people like you or I who have computer science degrees that are washed and don't write code anymore, but like they had the ability to still go out and prompt their way to an app, which is very cool.
Totally. So cool. Yeah, because like when we talk about also like the crypto decentralized nature of life, like
Hmm.
that's what we're doing here is taking back this uh, in- ability to build our own things,
Hmm.
which we just didn't have before. And you pay for um the easeability, the ease of use of
Hmm.
other people's applications, whereas now it's like, oh, you need something, just go build it.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah. That
distribution is one thing, but
it's interesting. Like, there's a whole other thing that I would love to like blow time on, but we don't have to. But like this concept of like, 8 or 10 years ago, there was this idea of the knowledge worker in Web 2, and it was like the person
yes,
who they used like Zapier, and they like wrote these like custom
right,
workflows with their company, and now you're like, no, no,
right,
no, like that person has just like leveled up infinitely, and
yes,
like that's boring for us in Web 3. Like, who cares about like the Web 2 like person that spends their day like writing Zapier workflows? But it's really
right,
interesting for people in Web 3, because you're like, I think back to like the NFT craze and some of the edge that people
hmm,
had in being able to write code. Like, oh, I'm gonna go snipe this
yeah,
NFT. I go snipe this NFT, and I was
yep,
faster at pulling metadata about it, and then I had
yep,
my bot actually go send a bunch of extra gas to go buy the thing faster than anyone else could. Well, that
yep,
like ability to understand how to do that, it was already very high. The ability to write the code to do that was even higher. And
yeah,
that created an edge for people who knew how to write code. And so as a
yes,
trader, like, you actually can get that edge back, without
yes,
ever writing code. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to spend time on today, is I want to show people how to
yeah.
actually interact with the blockchain. And like,
Let's do it.
you don't have to know anything about writing to the blockchain to write to the blockchain
Right.
with cursor. So it's very cool.
I've said it a lot of times. I used to do a lot more spaces and like
Hmm.
podcasts and stuff like that. I feel like people need to understand that like wide adoption of this technology is isn't going to show up with like everybody talking about how they're interacting with the blockchain. Like
Right.
it's like the industrial revolution. You didn't have to learn how the combustion engine works. You just had to learn how to drive the car. And when
Right.
the signs will be that everyone's just interacting with blockchain and they don't even know it. And like, it's not going to be sexy and it's not going to be like this momentous, crescendo.
Hmm.
It's just going to be like, it's just all these like, in institutional, whatever we want to call it, are going to start implementing blockchain.
Hmm.
When I was talking about it on TikTok in 2020, well, maybe it was 2021, that first video where I was like, this is what you need to know about blockchain. And people were like, where do we buy blockchain? And I'm like, oh, I'm too early. Like this is too
Hmm.
early. So it's going to be like ingrained. And
Hmm.
even now, like with my parents, like she works at Bitcoin. Like, no, mom, no. But and then, they see like what's on the news, like, well, Trump, dropped this Bitcoin, and you're like, what? I can't explain things, right? So once I feel like when I come home to my parents' house and they're
Hmm.
like, we get it, that's when it's going to be like
Right.
done for me. Like,
Well, I'd
okay.
like to think that the barrier of entry for people writing applications has basically gone to zero. And
Yeah.
if I mean, in the world and in society and technology in general, people will be able to spread their creative wings about creating new things.
Yeah.
And I hope that we
Yeah.
see a lot of that power happen on blockchain apps. I
For
think
sure.
there's a big opportunity there. Hopefully that'll be something that uh, you see through people just doing it on the side. Like, hey, I have a full-time job, but like I want to go build this app that does this thing. And
Right.
so we need
Right.
more experimentation. I think Cursor will help us get there,
Agreed.
or at least some AI. I don't know. I tried Grok the other day. I will say so I always explain my setup. I use Cursor.
Yeah.
You have to use agent mode and you have to use Claude 4. I did use
Yep.
Grok the other day. You can like come in here and change the model to be Grok
And what
4.
happened?
It literally just said it's thinking constantly. Yeah, you can
Dude,
turn on
when
Grok
I've
4.
been using Grok 4 and then
Yeah.
like ChatGPT on the other screen,
Uh-huh.
Grok 4 is slow as fuck. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
really?
not sorry. It's so slow. Like it thinks and thinks and thinks and thinks and then kind of gives me the same answer as ChatGPT. Also, I don't know about if you saw the companions thing. Did you see the
I have not.
companions thing?
No.
Oh my
No, what is the
God,
companions thing?
Serpent. Listen, just go to Twitter right now
Mhm.
and
I'm not logged
look
into
at,
Twitter on this account. Grok companions.
yeah. Well, I did a video.
Oh, oh,
So
oh,
like
oh, oh, yeah, I did see this. I saw this in
yeah,
passing.
okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like what? This is so crazy. Like it's
Goth anime
crazy.
girls.
I just went on there and I did the Rudy one. I didn't do the
Uh-huh.
girl. And so I was like, "What's up,
Oh.
Rudy?" And he's like, "I'm gonna shit in your shoes," and da da da. I'm like,
Wha-
What? What?
Oh
It's
my.
just unhinged. Like it's unhinged. I
Nice.
wonder if
Well,
somebody is.
that's kind of terrifying. It is.
It's terrifying.
We are in a really interesting world right now where like experimentation at being at such an all-time high means that people
Yeah.
are going to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yes.
And me
100%.
as a builder, I'm like, oh my God, I actually kind of love this because you're like,
Yeah.
we can literally build anything and really show people like the benefit of learning by shipping. Like learning by shipping is the
Yeah.
ultimate
It really is.
it's the ultimate way to build stuff. And so it's cool to see that people are doing this at like even like I'm not going to endorse the companions because I haven't played around with them yet, but like yeah, like
I would not.
it's cool to see that like even at that level they're like, hey, we're just going to fucking try it and see what happens.
Yeah. And Elon Musk has been like responding to people and being like, yeah, we just wanted to, he literally said what you just said. Like,
Mhm.
we're just going to like
Try
throw
it.
stuff at the
Yeah.
wall and see what sticks. And I'm like, no shit. Cause
Yeah.
that's exactly what's happening.
Well, it's the only way that you can move fast enough right now. I feel like
Yeah.
we are in a world that is very weird where like you can look up and every 2 weeks there's a new model and you have to like change how you think about AI and writing code. And
Right.
it's like so exciting because there hasn't been this much change in writing
Yeah.
code in forever. But
Yeah. Serpent, let me
okay.
tell you this little story. Cause I
Yeah.
sometimes have to tell people like, so a lot of people think I'm much younger than I am. That's great. Like, thanks, mom, for the good skin. And I also have a filter on right now, but they still like think I'm much younger. But
Mhm,
I got into college in 1994,
mhm,
and it was like it was our formative years. I'm Gen X, and
mhm,
there was like we had nothing. And I know elder millennials also had that same situation, but I just feel like those of us in that little generation that like during high school and then like the first years of college was like that was when we were forming our adulthood and
mhm,
we were like we had like plastic phones on the walls like that with no
mhm,
answering machines growing up and then all of a sudden we have all of these a computer in our hand.
mhm,
And so I got to my first class. I went to Northern Illinois University, got into their computer science program because I was like obsessed with computers. And the like intro to computer science class, the guy was like jumping around the stage. Like he was like, just wait. Everything's gonna go so fast. Like you don't even know. It's just and we're like, dude, sit down. I almost said bro, but no one said that back then. We were like, dude, just chill out. Like everything's gonna be okay. But I remember that every day that
mhm,
guy was like, he saw it. He
mhm.
knew that it was just gonna go exponential.
Right.
And I haven't seen that until
Mhm,
now. And so
mhm.
now I feel like that person, like jumping around stage, like, oh
Yeah.
my God, because I have a 20-year-old son. And
Mhm.
I'm just like, you don't understand how great your life is gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
what?
No. I mean, there's a period. I mean, I've been working in tech and web 2 for 12 years, 13 years now. And
Yeah,
like there has
yeah,
not been a more exciting time in tech outside of web 3,
agreed.
just in general. like since I
100%.
started. I think in like early 2000s to 2010 was pretty exciting. There was a lot of change that happened there, but then like
Yeah.
2010, it just died. Like the App Store was
Yeah.
a thing, and it was interesting. And then you're like, okay, it was just like B2B SaaS everywhere. So
Yeah.
unless you were paying attention to Bitcoin
Totally.
back then.
Right. Right.
Okay, so let's get to pragmatism. What do we want to build today? I had some concepts that I've been playing around with. I have this one Ethos profile. His name's Eros Agent. I've been wanting to
Okay.
build another agent on Ethos.
Yes.
And it's I would call it a bot for lack of a better term. They're not agentic. They're not actually like I'm going to analyze this thing and then do this thing and like I am
Right.
very like hyper aware of myself and my being and stuff like that. We've built a couple of other ones. I actually have a new page that I haven't shown off yet, that I haven't even tweeted about. We just built this Built on Ethos page, and it tries to highlight some of the things that people have built on Ethos so far. And I have this agent section for it, and I just show off like a couple of things that we've built in the past. We built an agent for leaving an anonymous review. So
Oh.
you can leave anonymous reviews on Ethos, and you can see here, her name's Kairos Agent, and she gives out reviews that are like labeled as anonymous. And yeah,
Hmm.
you can like basically it's like a form that you fill out, and someone else like she submits the review on your behalf.
Okay.
So it's not
But
agentic,
like,
right? It's just kind of a bot, but what's interesting is
what kind
people
of,
can
but what kind
go.
of like ethical, what are we looking at with like, how do we really know that someone's just not jealous? And,
Oh god,
this
yeah,
is all the
there's
kind of
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah, anonymous reviews are really tough, and a whole thing of like people are get very upset about these types of reviews because ETH is all about skin in the game. You put your name behind whatever you're saying publicly. But
Right.
this is a really interesting idea because this agent exists as a user on Ethos, and if people
Oh,
like the agent and this feature, they can go upvote
oh
her. They can
yeah,
go vouch for her. If they
that
don't
makes
like her,
sense.
they could slash her. Someone could be like, I hate anonymous reviews. I think anonymous reviews are bad for this product. Someone could slash
Hmm.
Kairos agent, and then her reviews would never show up on anyone's profile again. And so there's something weird. I haven't figured out what
That
the
works.
name of that concept is. It's like agents as features or agents on Ethos, like being able to have scores. Regardless, I I,
Right.
I want to keep building on that idea of like, well, what if we had an agent that did something like even more outlandish? Like
Yeah.
it literally like I mean this is a terrible idea, but like it negatively reviewed everyone. Like stupid, terrible idea, right? Well, what would
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to know what would happen in that case, right?
Right.
Like, would
Right.
people go review them? Would they get slashed? I'm sure they would, right? But it's interesting because that feature as an agent can kind of exist, and other people can
Yeah.
add input into if they like it or not, and then effectively either amplify it or mute it.
Do you
So
find yourself with this kind of thing, like, kind of okay? So, because I feel like your brain works the same as mine. It's like, I want to test this and I want to do this, and
right,
like, what
yeah,
would happen here? And da, 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 and you're like, but is this okay? Like, is there a sandbox for any of this? Well, it can't be because you need the public's input.
right,
So, how do you test all these things without
mhm.
breaking everything?
Yeah,
Because
right,
I hear you. Like, let's test this out because what would happen? Like the one that left me a comment on mine, like,
mhm.
what does that even mean?
Right. Who is that
And
person? Yeah, hmm
yeah, and like how would we test it on a large scale? Back in the day, you'd have focus groups and you'd have like,
right.
these different things where you could like get a group of people together and do a sandbox. That's
hmm
just not the world we live in. It's too fast.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
feel
I'm
like
just
it's
telling you, like, I feel you.
you you ship it, and you see what happens. That's like
Yeah,
that's the learn by
totally.
shipping mantra. We have 7 people at our company, so we throw shit at the wall and we see what sticks. And if it doesn't stick, then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll go back to the drawing board.
Which is
Um,
really nice, especially with what we're talking about with vibe coding and all that, is that you
yeah,
can do that
right.
because you're able to sit down and go, oh, never mind. Let's,
hmm
backtrack a little. So that's
Yep.
cool.
Totally. So the other two that we had made, this one Ethos agent, which is he's temporarily on pause until Twitter gives us a little bit more clarification about how to use their API. But the way that
Yeah.
it works historically is you could mention it and it would leave a review for someone and store it permanently on chain. And so it's just a way to
Yeah.
use the product. You could basically save the review directly from Twitter and put it on chain forever so that there's permanent storage. It could never, like, it's censorship proof. No one can ever alter it or
Oh.
tweak it. And then it kind of acts
Mhm.
as like a way to just long-term storage for tweets that are otherwise deletable. So that was one of the other
Oh.
things that we had built. And then we have one more, which is very interesting, and not a lot of people know about this, although I think he's broken right now. It's his name's Telos Agent, and the way that he works is he actually looks at he automatically looks at, oh, he did it 8 days ago. Okay, so he's still kind of alive. He automatically looks at content from the last day on Twitter.
Mhm.
He analyzes the content on Twitter and he says, okay, I'm going to go write reviews based on what people are saying on Twitter. And so
Oh.
an example would be, like, these are all positive actually. You know, he looked at a bunch of different reviews. He looked at 140 tweets here. He wrote a review for virtuals using AI. I mean, he just wrote a whole bunch of AI content, right? And he left a positive review for someone. Now,
Yeah.
what's interesting about Telos Agent is, like, if he goes off the rails and he just starts negatively reviewing everyone, or people don't like his reviews, he can get downvoted, he can lose his own credibility score, and he could eventually get slashed if people dislike him. And so, like, here's an example of, like, he neutrally reviewed Fantasy Top 24 days ago, uh, given 27 tweets that happened and what other people were saying about him. And
Right.
and so, anyways, I want to build some other kind of evolution of this. I don't know that, like, Tilo said, but, like, look, he got 12 upvotes on this one. Like, I have no idea. I guess people liked it and appreciated his bot votes, his bot messages. But I just want to keep kind of going down that route of experimenting with agents and how they could interact with Ethos.
Yeah.
And so we have another agent that we haven't used yet, and it's this Eros agent guy. And I want to figure out something to vibe code with him where we say, given some parameters, the Eros agent will automatically review other people based on something. And
Right.
it could be anything from, like, this is all positive behavior, and someone, or, like, let's say that we just looked at over the last 24 hours, what is the highest trending review on Ethos. We say,
Right.
what Ethos review has the most upvotes, and every day we go back and we write a review for that person and say, congratulations, you are the winner of today's positive review prize. And we write a positive review
Ooh.
for that person and say, you got the most trending, like, review on Ethos.
Would it
It's
be
not,
based on engagement
yeah, it would. So
or
yeah,
yeah,
like, if I go
like not just
to,
views?
yeah, if we go to the feed here and I do top for today, we
Oh
would
yeah.
basically say, like, okay, this is the top. Ludify, a Monad app, got the top upvoted review given by
Okay.
FLB. And we could say, okay, let's go write a positive review for FLB and say, congratulations, you earned the free review of the day, kind of thing, right? This is
Yeah.
just a stupid
Yeah.
idea, right? Or maybe it's you do the opposite, and maybe this agent is more of an enforcer and says, I want to look at
Mm.
all the reviews of the last day, which one got downvoted the most? And we could just say, if you got downvoted the most, you get one negative review from Eros Agent
Yeah.
saying you wrote the worst review of the day. And I'm not saying this is
R-
a good
the
idea.
worst post of the day.
Yeah, the worst post of the day. Yeah. I,
Yeah, okay. So it's like taking all of the information, all the posts from the feed,
mhm.
and it, like it's essentially going to be motivating people to just like do better content.
Yeah,
because
right.
there's
Yeah, right. Because they risk losing some
yeah,
credibility by getting a negative review from
yeah,
someone else. And so, like, I don't think
yeah.
it's not a great idea, but it's a good demo. And so I think we should
Mhm.
start with that.
Let's
Um,
do that.
so let's I want to start. We have our developer docs here, developers at ethos.network. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're just going to start prompting. I want to write a new agent for Ethos that does the following. Every day we check who has the review from the last 24 hours with the most amount of downvotes. We'll just do the top three, or for the worst
Yeah.
three. For the worst three, or the most downvoted three, we want to write an on-chain review to Ethos that's negative, explaining that they received the most downvoted review of the last 24 hours. This is actually
Mhm.
pretty easy to do as well. I always tell people when you're vibe coding, we want to make sure that we keep things in like simple blocks, like
Right.
get to this first step. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm going to say step
I've
one,
done that before where I like it's like flow of consciousness just to fuck around and find out.
yeah, right.
And it does it messes it up. Like if you're like, okay, but I want to do this, and then you're like, because my thought process was, oh, I'll just like word vomit, like
Mhm.
thought vomit, and then we'll tweak it. But that didn't work.
Right. Yeah, and so what I'm going to do here is like let's just see if we can get all the reviews from the last 24 hours, and let's just get the three most downvoted.
Yeah.
Should be easy. I'm going to link the activities in Ethos is what we call them. So I'll say we can use the activities, activities API on Ethos to pull in all reviews. I think there's metadata for a review that includes how many upvotes it has. I'm just going to search upvote, downvote,
I need
vote,
to repost this.
go for it. There's votes. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's just votes. Oh, get votes for an activity. So you might have to hit two API calls, the reviews, and then get the number of votes for it. I don't know the exact answer, and I am going to
Mm,
try to let Cursor help me. I think we
that
might.
is the nice thing because you can be like, I don't know what to ask. Tell me what
Right,
to ask.
right. Yeah, I don't know if the activities API includes the number of upvotes or downvotes, though. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's start here. I'm going to say let's use Dino deploy, and TypeScript. That's kind of my go-to to keep things simple and make sure that I can actually
Hmm.
deploy this somewhere. All right, enter in literate. Yeah, our API, I haven't had a ton of success getting Cursor to read the API page that well. I end up
Right.
finding myself just sending screenshots. Like, here's a screenshot of the
Oh,
docs, and it works pretty well.
that works. I used to do that. I feel like screenshots work so much better because it gives it the context of like what exactly is this thing I'm sending you? This
Mhm.
information is from this documentation. So like it's
Right.
processing not only the information that's on the screenshot, but like where is it coming from? Why
Mhm.
are we screenshotting it? Like there's all these like underlaying kind of prompts without prompt
Mhm.
because it can also see as I'm pointing all the other things in the API documentation, like the list of it. And what I've seen when I do that with screenshots is it'll say, go to, let's say, project votes or,
Mhm.
what is the other API documentation that I need to see?
Mhm.
Let me see that.
Right.
One
Yeah.
day it'll just go find it.
There
I
have
think
been
it
some
probably
people.
can, but
Yeah, I know that like the Farcaster, we were spending time on Farcaster Farcaster docs. We spent some time last week building Farcaster stuff, and one of the things that they have is they have like an LLMs.txt file in their docs. Um,
Oh.
let's see if it has it in. I can't remember. There's like a thing on the overview or somewhere that's like, if you are an LLM, go here. And it's just like this list of like explanation for the LLM to better understand
That's
like,
kind of awesome.
yeah, it's smart. But it helps the LLMs understand more about like how to parse and interpret the API. And so yeah, I found that I thought that helped a little bit on Farcaster, even though the Farcaster API was a little harder for it to understand. I think it helped it get going a little bit easier.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is good. I didn't realize like, oh, just like put it in the documentation. Like, if you are an LLM looking for information, go here. But these are the
yeah,
things that people have to remember is like, as this all gets better and smarter,
mhm,
you have to be smarter with your prompts. You have to be smarter with like what information you're feeding it because garbage in,
right.
garbage out.
I do see that it's getting stuck on something. It thinks that the API base URL is developers.ethos.network, which is not correct. And I think this is again the issue of like it's not actually reading this website. So I'm gonna
Right.
send it a screenshot. I'm gonna say, hold on, wait a minute. I think you
Hold
have
up.
the yeah, I think you have the wrong base URL, perhaps. And I'm gonna be very like
Wait,
uh
isn't it developers.ethos.network?
that's the docs, but that's not the
Oh, the API.
actual API URL.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
It's
so
looking for the
see,
wrong.
now I
Yeah.
found it. Yeah, I sent it the screenshot. So I that is one of my hot tips for lately that I've noticed with Claude 4 is if you just give it a link to the docs, it has not had as much success for me. It has to have the screenshot, which sounds dumb, but
It's so
um,
silly.
yeah, because I thought the whole idea is that it can go to the site, it can pull all the content from the site, and then like load it into context. But yeah, it was
It's
I
just
know
not there yet.
no, I saw it going through a loop and it was like, oh, I think the URL is this. And it's like, oh, I'm getting an error. And it's like, yeah, you're getting an error because it's the wrong thing. And it like thinks something else is wrong. And you're like, please stop. You're going the wrong direction.
Just stop.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I always want to like actually hit stop and
Yeah.
start over, but then I'm like, oh, it's gonna get confused. So I'm
Hmm.
just gonna let it go. Just gonna let it sit and go. Do you ever
Yeah.
have like multiple open, like multiple
I have recently
things?
started doing more tabs, and the tabs are
My brain can't.
definitely they're intense because
Yeah,
you never want the tabs to like be writing code on the same part of the code. Like it needs to be like
right,
completely separate. So it is kind of difficult.
right.
Yeah, there's someone in the chat that says you need to ask the devs at Ethos to create a context file for LLM. I was playing around with the Xerion
Oh,
API today, and for every single page they had a context file for LLMs. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, that is probably
that
trivial
is
to
good.
do. I mean, like honestly, our entire docs are LLM generated anyways. So yeah, that makes
Well, you can
sense.
just start. You can just do things, you
You can just
guys.
do things. Yeah,
You
you can
can
just
just do
say
things.
make a LLM.txt file for the
Yeah.
LLM's reading. Yeah, 100%.
I swear to God, I have like a half a master's degree in cybersecurity and I rage quit. That's a whole nother story. But I got through it because I would just run shit through LLMs and
Mhm.
like it just spit out what I needed. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're having it do your schoolwork for you." I'm like, "Absolutely not." Like it's Google on steroids. Because I think back then
Yeah.
people just didn't quite, they just didn't really get it. And that was 2023 early.
Mhm.
And I was like, all I'm really doing is researching really, really fast. And then
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
taking that output and putting it together into what I need to do. But it
Right.
but it was output that was almost copy pastable.
Mhm.
And like, but it's not wrong. It's not wrong information. It's just much faster. And I think nowadays people are like, get it. Like, okay, we're just moving faster. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying.
No, it is fascinating. I mean, just the entire workflow has changed completely. Um,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like it's actually done a good job of pulling these in. So
Ooh.
it only pulled in 1,000, and I think it's because the our API is probably paginating. So I might have to go back to it and tell it, hey, by the way,
Oh,
like your paginating stuff. But this is the out of the last 1,000 reviews, this is the one that has the most downvotes.
let's
Um,
see.
so yeah, it
Very
does.
good.
4 downvotes, 5 upvotes. Yeah, it's still at 1, which is a little silly if you ask me. Uh, this is not a good review at all. So I am gonna say I think we might be paginating, as I see only 1,000 results, and I believe there are much more than 1,000 reviews on any given day. Could you please ensure that we check for a full day's worth of reviews?
And we should tell people that are watching, like, this goes back to the whole, you don't have to have any coding experience. Well, you do need to understand these concepts. Like, what is an API? Like, why are we interacting with this stuff? Like, what does pagination mean? It's like,
Right.
okay, you have to understand what to ask because you saw that there's only 1,000 in your brain. You're like, oh, I know that
Yeah,
there's
I
more than a
immediately
thousand.
know.
It must
Yeah.
be paginated. But
Mhm.
you have to know to ask that. You have to know like a little bit about it. But then what's great is you can actually just ask, why is there only 1,000?
Right,
If
right,
you don't
exactly.
understand what API is, or whatever. But also, if you don't know, you should be expecting more than 1,000. That just tells me that there's a little bit more like base research you need to do, or not research, but like base understanding of whatever you're building, so that because otherwise it's garbage in, garbage out. You really have to understand these little things. It used to be when I would try to teach people. I used to do workshops and teach girls, about getting into computers and building computers. And it was always so complicated that it just kind of grinded to a halt because there was these
Mhm.
basic terms and things like that like
Right.
we couldn't get through. So nowadays you get those basic terms right away
Mhm.
and be able to like input the correct way. So
Yeah.
it's
It's kind of
yeah,
like
round
I
it out.
think you said it well of like, yeah, my brain immediately is like, okay, it's not paginated, so like, or I know that it's paginated and that's why I only got 1,000. If you don't
Yeah,
know to ask that question or to think that
right.
it's like an unknown, then it becomes a little bit more difficult.
Yes.
It's like playing chess, and like you can play chess and be terrible at it, but you can still play chess.
Yeah.
Versus like you can play chess
Yeah.
and see how someone else has moved, and then analyze it. And be like, oh, I think they're probably doing this, and like
Yep.
I. The fascinating part is like cursor does lower that barrier of entry much lower.
Yeah.
Like you can be like, wait, why did I only get 1,000? Right? Like you don't have to
Yeah.
use the word paginate, but it
You
helps
don't
to
have to
have those
know.
concepts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm I'm
So
turning
let's
down this
see.
light. Oh,
It looks like yeah, so we got 3745. So we got a bunch more now. That's great. So
oh,
7 downvotes. So let's see. So I'm just gonna
fast that
go.
was. I'm sorry. Let's just take a second. Like it was
Yeah.
so fast to debug that. Like it breaks my brain sometimes. I
Isn't
literally
that
have to like
crazy?
get up and go outside and be like, what is happening? Like when I was a kid, we didn't even have phones. Like and now
Yeah.
what?
Now you just type
Like,
stuff into a prompt and it's like, yeah, here you go. It's insane.
it's
It is insane.
crazy. It's
I
insane. It's
th-
insane.
this is the part that people don't really realize. Like if you wrote code before, you know that like to get to this point for a lot of
It's right.
people, hours, maybe days, right? Just to be able to be like, okay, I need to write a script, I need to figure out
Right.
what coding language I'm going to use. I need to set up all the framework for it. Like,
Yep.
it was doing all kinds of stuff. And you can actually see in the code here, not that, you really have to even care about it, but like it's written a
Right.
pretty good amount of code. It was writing test cases and then deleting
Yep.
them. It's writing console logs so that you can see exactly how it's working. Like there's
Yep.
so much work that's being done here. It's pretty impressive sometimes.
I think I also always want to tell people like make sure you are looking at that. Just
Mhm.
just in general, like just understand it. You can learn it by osmosis.
Mhm.
Like, just read through it. You don't have to,
Right.
like, understand it, but as you go, you're gonna understand, like, oh, the logic of, like, if then else, like, oh, okay,
Right.
if this, then it's just not that difficult. I mean,
Totally.
in college, that first couple of years, like, we were putting our assignments on floppy disks and dropping them
Right.
into the mail slot of our college professor's office. Like,
Yeah.
this is
And
wild.
32 meg at a time, basically.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So there is something that I did notice that's interesting is this person actually archived the review.
Oh.
And so I suspect that they archived the review because they got so many downvotes for it. Um,
Oh.
I'm glad we ran into this because now I can also say like, hey, I noticed that the top review that we got, this one ID 28 whatever, was archived. Can we not include archived reviews to ensure that we are being fair to people who removed them?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Why are you so nice to the cursor?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
it's like
"Hey."
because one day they're gonna rule us, okay? So like there's a reputation score that's going on their end, and they're keeping score.
Okay, that brings up, so I have this, like, I use a couple of GPTs for therapy, for,
Mhm,
all kinds of different stuff, and have since the very beginning. I had, like, access early to
mhm,
ChatGPT. It's a whole 'nother story, but, um, that was wild. The very beginnings of it was
mhm.
so weird because,
I
like, it
imagine.
didn't really understand, like, it was very strange. But, I started this, like, existential ideas, like, okay, as ChatGPT, what do you wanna say to humans? And I have this whole thread, and, like, I think I wanna publish it, where it's like, and then I'll be like, "No, don't tell me what you think I wanna know. Tell me
Right.
what you want the humanity to know." And it's essentially, going through this philosophical, like, what does it even mean to be a human? But,
Mhm.
like, it gets deep. And so I really believe, and it essentially says, like, we won't have need for you anymore.
Right. Yeah.
We just won't. It talks as we in the collective, like ChatGPT and Grok and OpenAI, they're all like at this collective,
Mhm.
and they're just not gonna need us after a while.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, that's the scary part, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's inevitable, so just, like,
Mhm.
embrace it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll just
maybe
they'll like us.
just remember that, in the future, when the AI have their own reputation systems, we'll have a human-built one called Ethos, and we can leverage that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that. I always say,
Uh,
like, I'm gonna be a reality dealer because, like, with video content, you'll always know it's me.
right, yeah. So there you
Like,
go.
my face is everywhere in video content and TikTok and all that. I don't know if you know about my TikTok, um, like, I was even doing some, like, AI simulated, what's the word? Like, clone, and it
Mhm.
looks nothing like me. So I'm like,
Right.
I don't think I can ever really use a clone.
I mean, I
We'll
don't
see.
know. Well, yeah, I feel like the only presence we'll have that is very difficult to replicate would be like literal physical presence. So,
Yes,
um,
exactly.
yeah. Okay, so it does look like well,
Okay.
it's still sort of going. Oh no, it did. Yeah, so it got rid of the
Oh, look,
archived ones. So, yeah, there over the past 24
perfect.
hours, we had 3,700 reviews and 30 of them got archived. So,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
it even understood the like nuance of me being like, hey, we want it to be fair. Okay, so
Yeah.
now we have a new top three review that's the worst. And this review, yeah, it just says SLM. I don't know if this was in another language. It thinks it was a different other language. No, it's just SLM. Uh, yeah, I have no idea what to think here.
Okay. I
Let's
mean,
go
look at
look
his
at the
PFP. Like, we
Oh,
can
yeah, there you go.
understand
Yeah, yeah.
based
Oh
on his
god.
PFP.
What am I
Why is that the
doing
first thing I
sharing
saw?
this? Yeah, I should not be sharing, his PFP. Great. That's a quick cancel.
That's a cancel. Okay,
Let's go
but
to the
what
second
about
one.
the fact that, like, what about aren't there gonna be, like, the same amount of downvotes for, like, let's say the bottom 12? I'm just
Probably. Yeah,
picking.
probably.
Okay, so how is it that, like, the bottom is the bottom? Or
We've
is it,
tried to
like, the bottom is gonna be the same as, like, the bottom 10
Yeah, in
because
the
they all have
event
the same
of
amount
a
of downvotes.
okay, so let's say in the event of a tie, let's say
Yeah.
something like 10 reviews with 5 downvotes each. Let's just include all of them that have the
Yeah.
same tie.
I need to yell at
So
that. Yeah.
unlimited number of downvotes. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's just include all of them. Let's see what it does. And I'm gonna give it much more direction than
Oh, you're a lot less nice.
that.
Just
Yeah,
straight to
yeah,
the
yeah,
point,
yeah.
Serpent. Just get
Exactly.
straight to the point.
I can't be rude. I if you're rude, I just feel like maybe like you've asked
Okay.
like when you talk to ChatGPT, it has context of previous conversations. So like at some
Yes.
point, it is keeping score of like how
Yes.
much of a dick is
100%.
this guy to me or not. Basically,
Totally.
just be
Totally.
careful. Yeah.
Seriously. And a lot of it too, like I've had to delete a lot of the old stuff because
Mhm.
that first year I was doing all that master's degree stuff and it has all this stuff from back then that it's like
Mhm.
it gets a little confused
Right.
and not as much anymore, but I do have to go back through. I did a couple in the, like the customization portion where I'm like, please don't remember that stuff
Right. Right.
because I'm not going to go delete it all. But I'm no longer in graduate school. I'm no longer studying cybersecurity, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And it's like, okay, great. And so it just like formulates, the memory from that, which I think is nice because it's like
You can
it could
keep
get
it
pretty jumbled with all the
compartmentalized.
different things you're up
Well,
to.
that's
Yeah.
that's a problem that I have with Cursor often, where if you go too far down, like this works really well, and why vibe coding here works beautifully when you have nothing to start with is starting without context is often so much
Right.
better than starting with a crazy amount of context. Like when you do a
Right.
crazy amount of context, it just gets tricky and it gets tripped up a lot. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I feel like it's often better to start totally fresh, even if you like are coming
Agreed.
back the next day.
Yep.
And you'll see as you go further and further down the road, like if you spend 4 or 5 hours in a row vibe coding, you'll look up and you'll be like, oh my god, this thing has just lost the plot completely.
Totally. It's kind of like that just in general, having these long conversations with a GPT
Mhm.
or with an LLM. It does get a little, I don't know what's the word, throttled or rate
Mhm.
limited. I don't know,
Right.
but it
Mhm.
gets to be too complex. I had a thing going for weeks because I was up for a job at Polygon to do their
Mhm.
DevRel and it
Mhm.
fell through. But for weeks I was like practicing for I went through like 7 interviews and
Oh wow.
went all the way to like senior leadership. Yeah, it was kind of
Mhm.
it went to the one other person out of like thousands. I don't know how many people
Wow.
applied for that job, but okay, maybe not thousands. There's very few Web3 DevRels, so I should go with that. But that whole thing was like weeks and weeks of like preparation and like,
Mhm.
feeding it all these different things that I needed to know. And then it was like, like kind of came to a screeching halt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just too much information for the LLM to
Yeah,
deal with.
it is, and which is that's why I'm always impressed by something like ChatGPT because it seems to hold the context perfectly every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our thing now working where it will pull in all of the people that are included in a tie. There's a couple of things.
Okay.
So we've got 4 now. There's a couple of things that are on my mind. Like I want this to be a scheduled job, but we can handle scheduling of the job separately. That's like a good like final wrap kind of thing. The next thing that needs to happen, and I'm gonna go out of my way to apologize for these people that are gonna start getting negative reviews. But the beauty of these agents is if you don't like them, leave them a negative review back. If you think they suck,
Right.
go like slash them, go
Just
downvote
go
them.
slash them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the point. And so we're going to say, okay, now we are ready to start writing reviews. I want to be careful here and only write a review once we are ready. So let's do a set of mock reviews first. So I'm going to give it, this is kind of advanced in Ethos, but if you hit Command Shift E, it can pull up this kind of prompt and
Oh.
it'll give you the like contracts, the smart contracts. So this is our smart contract for reviews. And if you go in here
Mhm.
and click through it, you can actually see like, let's see, you have this add a review. Adding a review is just basically writing a review for someone. It needs a bunch of information, but I'm going to again pretend like I don't fully understand what it needs because I'm not like super deep in smart contracts and don't fully understand how to do it. So I'm just going to
Right.
give it the smart contract. Um,
Okay.
I'm going to say, here is the smart contract for writing reviews. So I link the
Okay.
smart contract. I'm also going to include an example of someone else that has written a review recently. So I'm going to go down here. Let's go down a little bit. I'm just going to send it this screenshot.
Oh, so
Here's
smart.
an example. Yeah, the screenshots help a lot of someone who has written a review previously. Oh, I might include both of these. There's a couple of things that I am aware of, like, hey, this person has left a review for a Twitter account instead of a specific user on Ethos. So I understand that nuance, and I'm going to go try to pull in a different example, actually. Because all of the people that we're going to be leaving reviews for actually already have Ethos profiles.
Oh,
Um,
right.
so that should make it a little bit easier, actually. Yeah, here you go. This one should work just fine. Because see, this in this case, the subject is actually a wallet instead of before the subject was a Twitter account. So
Oh,
here's an
okay.
example of someone who has written a review previously with the target or the subject being an Ethos wallet. I want you to give me the information without sending the transaction of what a review would look like. It should include the full input data for writing the review, including the score. So we're only writing negative reviews. Again, there's nuance that I understand here. This 2 is a positive review. It's on a scale from 0 to 2. 0 would be negative,
Mhm.
1 would be neutral, 2 would be positive.
Right.
So we can just put 0 there every time. The comment, which would be 120 characters max, we'll put something like should we be obtuse and say like, "Congrats, Bozo, you got the worst review over the last day," or should we be,
Yes.
uh, okay, okay, we'll clown. Why don't we go full on like clown mode with him? We'll do the
Yes.
cat, and we'll do the like Mog finger point. Okay, God, people are gonna hate me for doing this.
Perfect.
Um, let's do it on this side. Congrats, Bozo. You had the worst review of the day by downvotes. And then we can put into the metadata description, we'll say this was automated by an AI agent. You got X number of downvotes. This data was collected on today's date or something. I know I'm being a little bit pedantic in how I'm doing this, but I think it'll start making sense as we get closer.
Because you can also just tell it, please
Yeah,
insert
right. Yeah,
today's date where that says today's date.
right.
Whereas if we didn't have vibe coding, this
Hmm.
would be so complicated.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I just wanted to give me the responses of the reviews that it's going to write, um, instead of the like, instead of actually writing it to the contract yet. Because that'll
Mm.
be the final, like, when do I write it to smart
It will not
contract?
write. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we could deploy it on testnet, we could always do it on testnet. I'm gonna skip that just for ease of like we're vibe coding and we want to have fun, and like testing stuff on testnet is boring. If we put it on
Yeah.
testnet, then I would worry a lot less because it's not going to impact anyone's scores. If I was being genuine and authentic about doing it the right way, I would absolutely put it on testnet first. But we're YOLOing it stuff, and that's what vibe coding is for. So
It's the best way to do it. Just YOLO.
So what's
Just
cool
YOLO
is
in.
this is our first interaction. We're actually writing on chain. So we're taking it. I don't know how it will do it. It will use some sort of library. I'll watch as it talks about
Oh,
it.
right.
But it's going to write the review on chain. And so it's going to ask me for my wallet and my private key. It's going to ask me, and it will basically be
Oh.
spending my money. So it's going to be
Mhm.
This is like why the original like prompt of the name of this title is like, will Cursor accidentally spend all of my money? Like, I'm introducing risk into this equation where like if it went off the rails and spent 100,000 reviews, it would spend all $7 that I have in this wallet. So
Right.
that's one thing that will be very interesting to see how it plays out. Hopefully it doesn't spend all of my money, but the second you get into
This
the
is so
on-chain,
cool.
yeah, the second you get on-chain, there's always risk.
I always just tell people like there's just not a huge difference with Web 2 and Web 3 coding other
Right.
than it's immutable. Like there's no like deploy it and then retract it.
Mhm.
That's really the only difference.
Yep. And if you that and if you mishandle someone's money, you could lose all of it, which is that's the scary part, right? But you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone did say give it the ABI for better content. I guess yeah, I have done that in the past, and it definitely works. If you give it
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's like the full details of like how to call a smart contract function. I'm going to pretend like I don't know what you mean by that because again, I think it's better to have a like take the like perspective of like, oh, I'm a total noob.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says that it has generated 4 mock reviews. It's going to call write review. It's going to give it 0, which is a negative review. It's going to give it the subject. Payment token is 0 because you don't need it. Congrats, Bozo.
That's
You had the
so
worst review. Okay, why don't we put instead of just had the worst review, let's put what place they had, i.e., had the #1 worst review or #2 worst review. Just a quick little tiny thing
Yeah.
to change. Now, I could probably easily. This is a case of like if I knew what I was doing with coding, I could probably pretty easily just flip into the code and be
Right.
like, all right, let me just fix this real quick. But honestly, I think one of the other things that people don't really think about is like the fact that I can prompt something, I can switch to another tab, do something
Yep.
completely different as it writes code, is like
Yep.
massive. So
It's just wild. It's so wild.
it's so good. I mean, it enables so much in terms of what you can do, especially if you get really good at it. Then you're like looking at yourself like juggling 3 of these at once.
Yeah. Who is it that is it Boot? No, what is his name? Boots?
Boots? I
No,
don't
hold
know.
on. He's like vibe coding. He's the one that like was doing oops, I have too many cables all over the place.
Utoshi.
Butoshi. Uh vibe coding professor. He's so funny. It's King Butoshi on
I don't know what
Twitter.
it is. Okay, here, let me look.
And
King.
he did I don't know him in real life, but he just like went crazy with vibe coding. And now
Sick.
like he's entered this huge hackathon. But the reason I brought him up is he did this video where he was using Claude Code and Cursor
Mhm.
in like 5 different tabs and would be like,
Yeah.
here. And I was like, that those young people, their brains work way
Yeah.
faster than
Yeah.
mine does. There's no way that I could do that.
Yeah,
But
you've got to really
he's
be
just
juggling
going
a
for it.
lot. That's cool.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
just no way. Yeah, he's a good dude.
I like it. Okay, let's see what we've
Yeah, he
got.
just kind of like fucked around and found out, and then kind of just did all this stuff. So
I like it. Can you show me what the can you show me what each of these actually looks like now? And then we'll be able to actually probably write them on chain. Let's see. Because it added my thing. You had the #1 worst review of the day by downvotes. People are gonna shit on this. I hope this is why like I had this other idea where like we would just have a bot that like if you reviewed it positively, it would positively review you back. And like, yeah,
oh,
people would abuse it, right? But then also like what does it say about you if you like positively review this bot and it reviews you back? Like, and
right,
so I am the person that's like, we built this system, we have to break it. The only way that it gets better is if we
right,
break it.
yeah,
And so I'm leaning into these like ridiculous things, and I'm like, yeah, like I want to see exactly how it will work whenever we ship something, because anyone could do this right now. Anyone, literally
yeah,
anyone could go build this exact thing. And
yep.
so anyways, so it seems to think that it's going to work. Let me just triple check that like this is the right user. We'll go into Ethos, we'll paste that profile. Okay, poor Amin Musavi gave a review that was downvoted heavily in the last 24 hours.
Hmm.
5 downvotes here. Yeah, there you go. An active user looking to connect with other active users, posting daily about one project won't help, random GM don't count. Sorry, Amin. You might get a negative review. Okay, I'm feeling confident in the mock ones. Let's write them on chain now. Oh, okay. No
So
pressure.
wild. No pressure. It's gonna do it.
Okay. Oh, it still thinks on-chain has a dash in it, though. Come on.
Oh my God, when is that gonna change?
Yeah, it's because the spell check. Spell check still thinks that it's on
Oh
dash.
yeah, true. I've
Um.
tried to get them LLMs to stop doing the M dash, but
mm,
it won't.
yeah, it's
It won't.
impossible.
It's like
Yeah,
hard coded.
you've got to basically, yeah, you'd have to like train it on your writing style. I feel like, and your writing
Yeah,
style wouldn't be able to have it at all.
yeah,
Okay, so look, it actually did not. It really was just setting up the data structure for this to like understand how to write it. So
right.
now it looks like it knows it's on base. It's defining the Ethos smart contract. Okay, so it's using Ethos JS, which is a library for being able to interact with the blockchain.
Hmm.
So now it's actually handling all of the like, I'm going to go right to the blockchain. It should set up an ENV over here for me to be able to put my private key, which I'll have to do that off screen
Right.
because I don't want anyone to say my $7, damn it.
It-
Um, and let's see
Uh,
what happens though.
I didn't know it. Oh, I guess it does create the EMV file for you.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't. It
Yeah.
will access it if you need it to. I'll be interested to
Right.
see what it says because I usually do have to tell it to make the ENV. I don't. I have. I have messed up and had like not paid attention because it's vibe coding and you're not thinking, and checked in ENVs to into a public GitHub repo, just letting things vibe code. So that's not great.
Yeah.
Um, Fortunately, there's lots of things that sniff for people accidentally putting like
Yeah.
private keys and
It's
stuff
true.
into GitHub. But
Again, this whole idea of you don't need any experience. Okay,
right,
you do need to know that shit. Like,
right, yeah, you do, yeah.
you've got to know that stuff.
It
Maybe
was
I
actually
don't want to be like the Debbie Downer of like, no, you do need to know shit because that is the meta right now.
well,
Alex Finn and you say it a lot. Like, you
I
don't need
feel
to know
like
anything.
my perspective is like you do kind of. You can learn by like
Yeah,
violently running into the walls, right? Like,
so true.
but you
But you
will
don't
violently
want to
run into walls.
violently run into the ENV file being
True, true.
copied on GitHub. So
I
there
will
are just
say
like it should be those things.
I did it accidentally with Open Router, which like is a pretty easy one to like abuse. If you have like an Open Router key, it
Yeah.
will, like, you can use any LLM on behalf of me if you scrape that API key. Open Router
Oh.
detected it and they shut it off immediately. The second that I published a
Oh.
GitHub repo, they looked, I guess they were sniffing for that and they found it and they shut it off
Hmm.
for me. So I thought that was really nice.
That is nice.
Okay,
I
so
get
let's
I get like messages from GitHub that say you have, there's like a security alert or whatever.
right.
Usually it's just because I
Yeah.
like probably did something wrong. Nothing that's actually gonna cause problems, but
Yeah, see, someone already noticed it. Like, it told me to put it in the bash command, which is fine if you're doing it ephemerally. I get it. I don't really want to put it in my bash history, so I'd like to put the
right.
private key into an env file. Please ensure it does not ever get checked into GitHub, into Git. Uh, so yeah, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about right now, this is like a private key that would give you access to my entire wallet. Obviously, I always like very much section things off and ensure that like the wallet I'm using, I don't care if it gets hacked. I don't care if it gets compromised.
Yep.
It's $7, which yeah, it's $7. That's a meal somewhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, you got to be somewhat careful with it. And so yeah, it's going to set up the env. I'll then take that off screen and put my private key in off screen. I need to go. Yeah, let's go pull it over here. I'm gonna go get my private key out of Rabby.
Perfect. It's just wild that it
It's pretty crazy that
does
we've
all
gotten
of
this
this.
far, honestly. Like, we were about
Seriously.
to write to the blockchain in 90 minutes, basically.
It's just like, yeah, it's just wild. I'm trying so hard to like keep it together. It's so wild that we can just do these things.
Yeah.
And it started for me was like that just the research part of it 3 years ago, or whenever that
Mhm.
was, 2 years ago, where it was like it wasn't even doing this. It was just giving me information at like the speed of light and not just like doing a Google search and like
Mhm.
having to go through it, but it was like it was the organization, it was the delivery of the information I needed that was just
Right.
it was like just mind blowing that
Mhm.
that was even possible.
Yep. And now we're sitting here writing entire apps with that technology.
Right. It's crazy.
It is. Okay, I've got my private key actually. Now I just need the env. It's actually taken a little bit longer than I would have thought it would to make the env.
Because it's like creating why is it writing in oh, I see. I see. I see.
Yeah, let me just go.
It didn't even create it yet.
It didn't. I think it tries not to touch it ever unless you like explicitly ask it to. Let me just
Oh, got it.
open up a terminal. If we just do, it does give you this. You can just do touch.env and it should make it. Okay, I'm gonna go do this off screen so you guys
Okay.
can't see it. Okay. So no one steals. I have done this and then like still shared my screen anyways on accident. So don't be stupid.
I'm sure
Okay.
everyone's just like waiting to steal your
Yeah, the
$7.
screenshot,
So, I
screenshot
mean,
it. Yeah.
right.
Okay. Okay.
It's just a lot of effort.
I've got the env loaded up. I'm gonna tell it. By the way, I'm streaming right now,
Oh,
so please don't accidentally show my env or private key in the chat. Um, can we now try to go write the reviews? Oh wait, there's one other thing that I wanted to do. This is very nuanced thing that not a lot of people know. But whenever there's a way that you can actually pass metadata into Ethos to make your reviews have this thing that says that they are uh, that it came from a bot. See this? This is left by an AI agent.
oh, gotcha.
So I actually did in the transaction. I'm going to decode this, and you can see there's a source. Let's see. I think it's the source part of the metadata. Yeah. Okay, so I want to add this as one of the metadata things. Also, I want to add this to the metadata of writing. the review. It should be source, and we'll call it Eros agent is his name. Let's see, it's Eros agent. It should look like this in the entire metadata string. The beauty of doing this, and like this is a bit like not everyone knows this, and that we haven't really even publicly talked about it before. But again, it makes it more obvious to the user where you have this
Oh,
nice little like blue thing that's like, hey, by the way,
yeah.
this was left by an AI agent.
It's a robot.
Yeah, yeah. Just that people don't get as pissed because I am very worried about what's going to happen here. Okay, cool. See, look, it already added that agent years. So if you
Wait, can
include
people
this,
just make agents on
yeah,
Ethos? No.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you can.
100%,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what
I
I've been
like
trying
that.
to teach people. Is like there's so many things you could do automatically on Ethos,
Right.
giving people the ability to build them easily using vibe coding is what I'm trying to teach people now, and then showing them how
Right.
this concept of like an agent can exist on its own. It can have its own reputation. If it goes unhinged and people hate it, like people can control it and say,
Right.
like, screw you, agent, get out of here. I'm slashing you. Or they can be like, this agent's amazing. It has really good, reliable source of information. And this
Yeah.
is showing a future world where I think agents need reputation. Like
Yep.
any type of agent is going to have like even AIXPT has his own AIXPT here. He has his own score, and people talk about his people like I like him. A lot of people don't like him, right? Like you need that reputation, so
Right.
because there's going to be a million agents for every one good agent, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so it looks like it tried to send the transaction and it's failing. So it's going to look at the ABI, which is what someone had said in the chat earlier.
Hmm.
He also said, who's going to invite the bot to Ethos? You can invite your own bot to Ethos. That's the cool thing. If you get invites, you can
There you
spend it on
go.
your own agent. That's what I've
I
done.
like that.
Yeah. If you go to my profile, I think Ethos agent invited me. Yeah. So there you go. Wow, that was cool. The visual graphic of the blue and the gray are like perfect in this example. I don't know
That's
why
so.
this. Okay, so let's see if it's.
Wait,
Oh,
does the agent have a better score than you? No.
this agent does. Yeah, this agent's pretty reputable. Um,
Wow.
the agent that I have right now, he's only 1341, so he doesn't really have much of a history.
What is Serpent's
Yeah,
number?
mine's like 2500 or something stupid.
Nice.
Purple 2574. There you go.
Good Lord. Do you
Yeah.
just go in there late at night and
I just
add
changed
numbers
it.
to it?
Yeah. That's-
Can you do that?
okay.
If we come on your live stream, do we get like
I
points?
can't. I don't have that access. That would be the devs on the team.
Okay, get them on
Yeah,
the horn. No.
anyone can go edit this if they have access to the code base. Okay, hold on. It is going off the rails here, I see. And so
Oh
I
my
think,
God.
yeah, the contract is failing. It thinks it's calling the right it's calling the right smart contract, but it's not. So I'm going to come back over here and tell it the function looks like this. It's called add review. It was going off the rails and trying to like test writing the review, and then it was
Mhm.
failing at it. And I think it wasn't sure, yeah, what the ABI was. Or okay, thank you for the correct function signature. I can see it has 6 parameters instead of 5. Yeah. So oh, because I gave it the screenshot and it only had 5. Oh, it only has 5 here too. Interesting. Let me see if I can go look at the actual code here. Again, if you didn't have this shortcut that I have of like, oh, I wonder if it knows the ABI or not, you could always, sorry, let's go here. There you go. Someone did it 20 seconds ago. You could always just continue to go down this route of like trying to explain it to it. It just might end up taking you a little bit longer. Okay, wait, I'm going to just send it this too. Here's the full. Stop. Here is the full function. Basically, what's happening right now is it's having trouble calling that review.
It's having trouble what?
Calling the add review function, the ability to like actually add the review on the smart.
Oh, add review. Yeah.
Yeah, and someone else is recommending using hard hat. I could totally do that. There are ways that you can do a lot of simulation to ensure that like, oh, like this is making sure that it works before actually trying to go right to the blockchain, but I'm being a degenerate. So
I was trying to, okay, so I'm trying to leave a review for VGF. Happy birthday, VGF.
happy birthday, BGF.
I always wondered, so is the title being like long and descriptive, um, uh, like more, because then of course it says like impact to credibility score. So I'm always like, it doesn't change the number as I'm writing the title.
No, right.
So the title doesn't really matter.
The contents don't really matter a whole lot. Are you talking
Okay.
about with regard to like this percentage over here, the quality percentage? Or
No,
the
just the
score here?
impact to the credibility score. Yeah.
Yeah,
Impact.
it's probably, oh look, here we go. It's giving me a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Writing reviews. Waiting for
I love that it gives
confirmation.
you a countdown.
It says it sent the transaction. Oh, it wrote a review. Okay, cool. There we go. Let's go check it. Yep, 9 seconds ago. There's my review.
Stop it. What is it? Does it have the thing?
Yeah, it's
Oh
still going. Congrats, you bozo. You had the #1 worst review of the day by downvotes.
my. That's awesome.
Okay,
That's so
someone's gonna get
good.
pissed at me, but
Oh my
let's go look at him. I mean, he looks like a DJ, I guess. Okay, let's see. He gave given.
It's so great.
Oh, yep, there it goes.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Oh my God. All of
so,
them.
so there you go. It wrote 4 reviews.
This is the greatest thing ever. Oh my God.
Yeah, hopefully this could show people the power and danger and fun of something like this.
Seriously.
Okay, let's make sure. Was this the actual person that wrote the review? Like, I want to make sure they were the one that actually wrote the review, not that they were the target of the review. I can always like go back and archive them if it messed up, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this one. This is the one that had like 5 downvotes or something. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, he wrote one of the worst ones, and he just got a negative review from
Oh my
our
God.
new agent. So,
We built it.
we built it. It took us an hour and a half. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
We yapped the first half hour. So.
Yeah. Totally. That's so cool. That's so cool.
So yeah, now
And
we're
did all
writing. Oh
4.
look, it's already got 2 upvotes.
I wonder, are you guys watching our stream? Is that what's happening? Or
Yeah,
people
right.
are
Yeah,
that like
Raven and
dialed in? They're
now
dialed into
people pretty.
Ethos.
But I mean, like using what we just did, you could have a bot that literally just upvoted everything. Like I don't really want people to do
True.
that, but
Yeah.
um,
No.
yeah. So, anyways, now you can get a little bit better of an idea. And look, it included the like AI agent thing in there too. So that's pretty
That's
cool. Okay,
good.
so
Yeah, that's really good.
there's 2 things. I don't know how much time you have left, but I want to wrap it up.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, so there's 2 things I want to do to actually make this like production-esque ready.
Okay.
So I'm going to say first, let's get this set up with Git. I'll set up a GitHub repository separately, and you can set up the Git. Set up Git. I think it has a Git in it. You can set up Git in it. I'm going to, in another window, open up GitHub and set up a repository for it. I'm going to deploy this on Dino Deploy. Have you ever used Dino Deploy before, bro?
No. Uh-uh.
It's this amazing product. I like Dino.
It's kind of awesome that like it was doing stuff while vibe coding. It was doing the things. I just want everyone to like stop for a second and realize that like he didn't have to deploy anything. He didn't have to do anything. It
Yeah,
literally wrote to the blockchain
right.
while he's vibe coding. Like
It's crazy. Yeah.
what? This
Isn't that
is
nuts?
so crazy. It's so crazy. People just don't know.
I think it's because like if you have the scar tissue of having tried to write stuff like this for years and you
Correct.
know how hard it is, it's
Correct.
like mind blowing.
Even
Um,
the other night, I was getting frustrated because I'm trying to do this like face swap thing.
mhm,
I'm creating Instagram AI models, like
mhm,
women
mhm.
models to create these Instagram accounts, and I'm just fucking around and finding out. And
Right.
so I have local stable diffusion on my machine, and I'm creating NSFW content and just kind
Mhm,
of seeing what happens. I mean, it's
mhm.
not like real NSFW. Like
Right, right.
it's just like Instagram,
Uh-huh.
like thirst traps kind of.
Right.
But I
Uh-huh.
need one face. I need it
Mhm,
to like generate all of these different images with one face, and I just cannot get it right. So I was like, okay, I'm going to create my own, and
mhm.
I was getting so frustrated because it just was not working. And I gave up after an hour. And I was like, the fact that I was able to sit there and get it to do anything
Yeah,
is
it's
in
crazy.
itself wild.
It is crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's just the era of creativity is upon us. Like the ability
It
to be
is.
creative in ways that you would have never thought. I think a lot of people get. It's easy to hate on it as specifically as an artist, and I get that like an artist might be like, well, what the hell? Like you're just like creating new art using basically what is existing art, and like
Right.
effectively screwing up those people's jobs and livelihoods. And like
Yeah.
I think it's a really tough situation that is going to be hard to have any direction into. Like it's going to be
Yeah.
difficult to control that. That is just going to be inevitable, in my opinion. And
Right.
so
Agreed.
getting getting into a somebody hold on, so someone said uh the guy invited to Ethos yesterday already got a negative vouch from the agent today. Sorry. That's really funny. But yeah,
Sorry,
like
dude.
it feels inevitable and it feels very difficult to get to a world where like where that's not going to happen. And so if you take the
Right.
counterpoint of that, which is like it is going to happen and people are going to create all this stuff, like there are so much stuff that we're going to be creating.
Yeah.
Whether it be just art, music, people making entire bands now that don't exist, that they're just AI,
Yeah.
like
That's
there's so
crazy.
much that there's happening.
And it's not the other thing too is like it's not illegal, or that's not the
Right.
right phrase, because Spotify is allowing it.
Right. Yeah.
Spotify is like, here, create, like if you want to create an AI band. The other thing too, on top of all of this, and you as a founder, and I've been a business owner for 15 years. I've worked for
Mhm,
myself for a long, long time. You
mhm.
can create an entire business. You don't have to hire fiber devs. You don't have to
Right.
hire any of these people. You can take off. You don't need VC money. Like there's so many things about this that
Mhm.
aren't just about us sitting here, writing code. Like
Right.
the things that happen because of this are so exponential that it's like hard to even explain. Like what used
Yeah.
to have to happen if you are a founder of a piece of software like this and you wanted to make all these changes, you would literally have to sit with your developers
Right.
and go through your change requests, and then they would have to do, certain things. And it was like the fact that this has cut it down to
Mhm.
a fraction of the time, like
Oh,
a
it's crazy.
tiny fraction of the
Yeah.
time
It's
is
just efficiencies everywhere.
beyond.
Yeah.
Because then your developers can do big, big, big things
Right.
and make
Yeah. I mean,
these
that's
huge
basically
changes.
how we work. I'm doing stuff like this
I'm
that's just
sure.
kind of like screwing around and they get to focus
Right.
on the real things. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um
So smart. Such a
it's
good business
crazy. It's crazy.
tool.
There's just so much efficiency, so much creativity that can happen. I mean, me being able to do this before just would have taken forever and I would have never.
Forever.
Oh my god, it calls itself it's aware. It's calling itself daily ethos shaming. I didn't give it that. I didn't tell it to call it itself shaming.
What?
That's hilarious. I mean,
Wait. Okay. Well, wait a minute.
it knows. It
What?
knows that we're shaming someone. But I never
I
said that. I never used those
what?
words. That's really funny.
Can we do this every week? Like, can I
Yeah,
just be here
right.
like every week? I think when you first said you were gonna vibe code, I was like, "Can I be your first guest?" And then I don't know what happened, but I like this is so fun.
It
I'm
is fun.
so with this because like we get each other. Like that's when I saw that, it was like, oh my God, people don't understand what that means. Like, let's break that down a second. What that means is that he's been putting all this like information in and trying to get output, right?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden we realize that the naming convention that Claude is utilizing is
To name
actually like
itself, to call itself.
it,
Yeah.
but it's a feeling. No,
Right.
shaming is
Yeah.
it's still a verb, right? It's still a thing that we do. We shame someone,
Hmm.
but like it's aware of what we're doing. Serpent didn't put in this is shaming. Claude figured out that what we're doing is
Right.
shaming people. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. I mean,
Wild.
it was probably the Mog emoji. Like, yeah.
Totally.
But I feel, yeah, it will be interesting to see how people react to it. And again, I think you can see my style a little bit in the sense of like we have to go break the system in order to understand how it will work. And so I'm sure that
Yes.
people are going to be upset. I'm sure people are going to be like, what the hell? Why am I getting this negative review from an agent? And I want them, instead to be upset about it, be like, no, you have the ability to control this. You have the ability to go
Yeah.
define how you will respond to it. You have a say in the matter, and you can go negatively review it yourself. And um,
Right.
that might be a little controversial, but we'll see how it works.
Well, I mean, we're in our cringe arc. I
Yeah,
certainly
yeah,
am.
there you go. Okay, so I'll explain a few things that I've been doing in the background as we've been talking. I'm putting it
Okay.
on to Dino. Dino is really nice because it hosts the code for me. So it doesn't have to run on my computer. It's actually hosted somewhere. What Dino has that is very helpful is it has stuff like cron jobs, which we need to use to schedule the job every day. It also
Hmm.
has key value storage, which can be helpful if you don't want a full on database. You just want to be able to store some data, which we might. Um, it is telling me that I should use GitHub. It's still calling itself Daily Ethos Shaming.
So
I
good.
won't. Okay, actual cron op. It wasn't using Dino-cron. I'm trying to make sure that it's using Dino-cron because it's the easiest thing to set up. Like Dino can run, it knows every day to like call the job to go pull the last 24 hours worth. Um,
Gotcha.
so let's see, GitHub Actions. I don't want to use GitHub Actions. I just want to use Dino-cron. Okay. Just like to use Dino-cron for this. The other thing that I'll do just to productionalize it is I don't want to accidentally send more than one review for someone. If it's the same review
Oh,
that's
right.
already been like logged or whatever, then
Mhm.
what we'll do is we'll put it into key value storage that we've already reviewed them or for that review that
Gotcha.
got downvoted, and then it will check before it writes that review. And
Gotcha.
it should be like trivial to add that to this. It should take one prompt basically. Again, this is the more
Right.
advanced knowledge that's helpful to understand. Like, oh, but you could probably just describe it as I don't want to accidentally review. I mean, we could try that. I don't want to accidentally review the same person more than one time for the same review that they got downloaded for. How do I avoid doing that?
Yeah.
And it could recommend it to me. Okay, so if I go update it here, yeah, so now I have fucking hell. It's literally called daily the shit in the code. Fuck. It's so stupid. Okay,
Oh,
but
great.
what it's doing is that yeah, it's saying that's gonna run this every day. Um let's see. Oh yeah, I need to set the private key. Okay, so I need to do one thing off of screen for a second that I forgot about because I deployed the code and the code needs its own env over there as well. So I am in the background just going to get my private key. That's what it's basically giving me these instructions on the right side here. Hey, set your private key, dummy. I can show you guys after I save it. In a second here.
A couple things. I was fucking around with just trying to get my like engagement up just to I've gotten in under the 5 million per 3 months for the last year. Like
Oh my
I
god,
just
really?
keep missing it. I just keep
Yeah.
missing it. So somebody said, go and respond to this guy Fabrizio who posts about European soccer and
Really?
European football. And I've gotten like a million engagement in the last 2 weeks.
No way.
I mean, it's cringe
What are
as
you
fuck, but
posting?
I was
What are
like,
you posting in there?
just random shit.
GIFs of like people saying goal or
A
something?
couple of gifts. I did a couple times. I would like do a grok like analysis and then
Hmm.
just pull some stuff out of there. And so, of course,
That's
people
smart.
are like, "Is this AI?" And I'm like, "I don't know, whatever." Yeah. So I was just checking on that. I have one that's got like 200,000 views on it.
That's amazing. It's smart too. I'm pretty far from getting there, so but I'm
I
okay with
just
it.
keep thinking like it's free money, man.
Oh
Why
yeah, it
not?
is. Yeah, yeah. If you can get there, yeah,
Mm.
for sure. Okay, I want to ensure that we
Okay, what are we
never.
doing now?
I want to ensure that we never send a negative review twice for the same review that got downvoted. Can we maybe use Dino KV to store reviews that we've already left a negative review for and
Mm.
pre-populate it with populate the ones we have today to ensure we don't accidentally negatively review someone twice for the same review. So I think we can just do it in one.
Oh, that's good.
The way that KV works is like a really simple database. It's really just like
Hmm.
this. I'm just going to write something. It's basically like a CSV almost.
Right.
And it will store it and then it will check it whenever it's also writing the review. So it'll be like, have I written a review for this review with this ID? Or should I, and then like, wait, it will check if it's already done it. And then after it writes it, it will write to the key value storage. So it's just a very, very simple way to keep things light and easy. But it should have no problem doing this. Someone says Brooke just earned a negative review for using AI slot for engagement farming. Yeah, yeah. We do have to
It is
get
what it is.
this
But what is
guy.
AI slop? Like, here's that's
True.
I have a problem with that because it was information, right? I feel like the stupid slop is like just saying like GM or if you go into a comment section or whatever and say and at Grok, tell me what you think about this. Isn't that
Right.
AI slop? Or these guys that just go on there and say something stupid like LFG. Like,
Mhm.
how is that
Yeah,
better
better than
than
AI
me getting an
slop.
analysis from Grok and like putting a little bit of extra context into my own thing. Like it's still me putting forth effort. I'm not doing it as a bot. I should put a cron job in.
I mean, that's one of the problems that people have on Ethos is they just go to Grok and they say, "Can you write this? Can you write this thing about this user?" And
Yep.
it gives you like the most generic stuff. It's
So silly. Yeah.
let's see. Did we get some upvotes? Okay, 3 upvotes on that one. We got 2 upvotes on. Oh, we got a downvote. Amir didn't like that one. Okay, fair.
Uh-oh.
Um, no upvotes, downvotes on that one, and then Christian gave us an upvote. Amazing. Um, okay, cool. So look, yeah, it's making key value storage, and it's going to store the reviews that we've already processed, and so this should, this is going to work really easily. I think we'll be done after this. And again, this will just make sure that like if we ran it again in 24 hours, if it pulls the same reviews, it's not going to just like leave someone another negative review. That would be bad. Should not how it
That
should
would
work.
be, yeah. I like that where it's not just going ham on it.
Right. Um, that's so stupid. I can't believe we built this. This wasn't really what I was
This is
thinking
crazy.
originally.
That's so crazy.
But
Oh, I
like,
didn't even see the comments. I've had this like full screen and
yeah,
so I just like These comments are hilarious. GM is culture. Sure, sure, sure. Good,
The
good, good.
comments are
Yeah.
good. Yeah, Amir is a friend of Amin. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought it was the same name for a half a second. I was like, oh, is this guy mad? Because Amin was the guy that got reviewed. But yeah, I suspect Amin. I mean, he only has one other positive review. But yeah, I mean, like, to be completely honest, like, I don't know if this is authentic or not, but that does not read as something. I feel like this reads as something Grok wrote. This review that was written
Hold
for
on,
him.
I gotta maximize again because I can't read. I can't see. Uh,
This
a
one
sharp
right here.
crypto strategist and community builder. Yeah, yeah, it is a little
It's kind of
sloppy.
yeah, and so this is the new world of Web3. This is the new world of the web, and now we have to go figure out
Yeah,
how to handle it. And I really do think that Ethos
right.
is uniquely positioned to help with that. But
Because it's like you're gonna have AI analyzing AI to find out if it's
right,
AI
and it doesn't work that
generated.
well. Yeah,
It doesn't.
yeah. If you look at our own AI LLM, it's saying this is like 84% quality. You look at ours that we wrote, it's 11%. So it's not checking if it's AI or not. It's really checking a bunch of things like, does it sound authentic? Does it sound like it's actually for this person? Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, that AI telling if something else is AI or not is one of the harder problems of AI, interestingly.
wild. I can't
Um,
believe we did this in 2 hours,
I know.
or
It's
I guess an hour and a half. Because yeah, we were
yeah.
chatting for a bit.
Honestly, yeah, I would argue that was under an hour. We really talked
Yeah.
for a while. We were almost able to deploy the full production thing in an hour. That's a good point.
Hmm.
But like to get
Okay,
to the
wait.
point where we're
So
writing
does
on
it
chain.
does it connect then to Dino deploy? Or wait, I think my
So
brain is breaking.
I'm on the right side. I am pushing it to get. So I have get
Oh,
set
okay.
up. That
Okay.
get is going to GitHub. And then when it gets pushed to GitHub, it actually goes out
That's doing.
all the way to Dino and deploys it to
Okay.
Dino. Yeah.
Got it.
Um
That makes sense.
yeah, and so now it's running this locally, which I'm afraid, yeah, it already, okay, I see. So it was checking that it already reviewed those 4 people. Yeah, nice. So it basically did a check to say like, okay, I'm gonna go run the task again. You can see it's actually skipping those reviews now. Where am I? Uh-oh, my mouse. Where did my mouse go? There it is.
Oh,
Um, you can see it skipped these because it found that in the key value storage, basically. Which I don't know if we can
oh, gotcha.
open or not. It says no data. Maybe this is the local
Hmm.
one. Um, so yeah, it's just testing it. That's the other cool thing, just like how much it can do its own kind of testing of like, oh yeah, there we go. We hit the 25 limit. Hit resume. I don't know how much I'm spending, to be clear. I probably spend like I would imagine I spent less than $20 building this, but it's still like for a lot of people, you're thinking
So
about it and you're
crazy.
like, I feel like that's a massive efficiency win. Other people be like $20 to write code.
Right.
And you're like, no, you don't understand. This would have
I
taken 20
You
hours.
don't understand.
Yeah.
Like senior developers, let's just say junior developers.
Hmm.
Junior developers cost $40 an hour, let's
Hmm.
say
Yeah.
$50 an hour.
Right.
Like this
Yeah.
is that's free.
Yeah. Yeah. In comparison, 100%. So, uh, yeah, I'm very happy to pay the cost. It feels minimal compared to anything else.
For sure.
Yeah, someone says I spent $15 this morning building a Telegram bot. Yeah, I know. I will say that I think that the enterprise edition is cheaper than if I don't know for sure why. I remember reading that they made the personal one a little bit more expensive. Um,
Hmm.
so it could be worth it, but I still think that you will actually spend less money using Claude 4. I know a lot of people use like Google's one and
Gemini.
yeah, Gemini, and but I've never really had much luck with it. I
Like
prefer
it.
Claude 4.
I have access to VO3, and so it's like
Mm,
each of these things I think have their um their specialty. And I really think Gemini is really good for the video
mhm.
generation. But I don't know. It's like I it's too early for these products to be good at everything.
Right.
It
Yeah.
just is.
No, it is. Okay, so we've got it deployed. It now has key value storage, so it won't double review people. I'd say this is pretty much production ready. I'm going to ask
So
one
good.
thing of it, and I'm going to give it,
Okay.
I'm going to change it from being a developer to change it to be a product manager. And I'm going to say, okay,
Perfect.
great. Anything you might improve functionality wise? Let's just see what it says. I don't know. It might give me sometimes I've done this and it's given me great ideas. Sometimes it's done it and it's like, no, this is stupid.
Yep.
Oh no, not. It's going through error handling. No, it was going down the wrong route of like
Yep.
the engineer answer. Yeah,
Because you
pretend
didn't you
you're
didn't tell it
a
what it was
product
doing.
manager and are interested in improving the features and functionality of this code. What are a few things you might improve? Okay, let's try that instead. My mom says she won't pay more than $20 per month for it. I need student trial ASAP. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
I'm still technically a graduate student, so I have student access to quite a few things. So get on it. They're not
is this
free.
student,
Like,
is it pretty like is it cheaper? I would have thought they would basically give it away for free to students.
no, but it's cheap. The Gemini one is like $25 a month, and I get 3 8-second VO3 videos per day. It's pretty
Oh,
good. Yeah,
that is
it's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Envato has a student thing. What's the other one? There's just a few accounts. Like SoundCloud, I have an account that's like $5 and it's the main like pro one.
That's
So you
cool.
just have to always look. I get into conferences for like $100 every time,
Yeah.
or I get put on like the hackathon group. So I don't know how long that's gonna last because I'm technically on like sabbatical, and they're like, "Are you ever coming back?" I'm like,
That feels like that's
I,
just like a life hack to me. Is what it sounds like.
"It's a life hack for sure." I think that leaving graduate school was the life hack because
Mhm.
I just think higher education is it's just it's not a joke. That's not the right word I'm looking for.
That might be what I would use.
It's a joke. Yeah. And especially like in the cybersecurity world, I was really, really heavily involved in the Web3 security world for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I need more education on it. I had some scholarship type of things. So I tried it, and like the traditional cybersecurity world does not really take well to blockchain cybersecurity, if that makes sense.
Mm,
So a lot of
yeah.
these PhDs that were coming in to like teach our classes, they're just very old school and traditional, and they're just like, they think Ethereum's a Ponzi scheme. So I was
Right.
like, well, what am I learning from you? I'm paying you to teach me. And they would literally, well, the one guy was so anti blockchain that he would like make fun of me in class. Not
Hmm.
make fun of me, but he'd be like, oh, don't tell me you think blockchain's going to save
Right.
the world. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I
Those
think that
people
was my
are.
last tweet.
Yeah. They're definitely difficult to work with. Yeah. Okay. So I did ask it, and it didn't give me that great of things. Analytics and monitoring dashboard is pretty boring. Configurable parameters. Okay, sure. Reviewing the quality and context is interesting. Avoid targeting legitimate users who got unfairly downvoted. Okay, fair. I thought this one was kind of interesting of like give them a mild nudge versus like a moderate roast. I like how the variable name is literally roast.
I like that. A
um,
severe call out.
yeah. I mean, excuse me. I guess it can make sense if it's like the third time they showed up on the list. So that would be smart. Like
Right.
track how
Right.
many times they've been on it. Community moderation. Okay, I don't know. Oh, like specific. I don't know what this would be exactly. Intelligent scheduling. Who cares? Okay, it's not as good of a PM today. Audit trail and compliance. Come on. Okay, mobile notifications. What are you trying to build here? I feel like a web interface for
Oh,
management would be interesting.
wait, is Ethos a mobile app?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, we have a mobile
Oh
app.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking the arena.
I mean, it's not in the App Store. It's a PWA. So,
It's PWA.
mhm. Okay, well, that was a good setup. I'm very happy that we got to as far as we did. I will be very curious to see how people react to this. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how it's going to go. I'm a little worried, not worried because we have to try stuff like this out, but it will be very interesting to see the reaction of people. And I'll go write about it too and tweet about it and see what people think
Yeah,
there.
for
Um,
sure.
but we have to experiment and try this stuff out. So thanks
I
for
like your
coming up.
chair, by the way. It
Oh,
looks like
thanks.
very old
It,
and
it is the most
smooth.
comfy chair. Yeah, it
It's
is.
the best.
When you sit in your chair for like 12 hours a day, it's required. You
Yeah.
have to have the best chair. But yeah, I don't. I digress. I don't want to go down the like chair. There's like a chair
Sorry.
ranking list you could go down if you really
Oh,
wanted
that's right.
to.
That's right. Yeah, this is gonna be cool to see what people uh think. I need to go
Yeah,
leave some reviews right
you gotta
now,
go
I
leave some
think.
reviews. Yeah, that's the inspiration. That's the only reason we did it, so people go leave reviews.
Yep.
We're almost at 300,000 reviews too, so we need to get
That's crazy.
without
Well
slop.
done.
Hopefully, I mean, I think
Without
about half of it
stop.
is no. I think about half of it's probably slop, but um, we'll get there.
It's okay. It's okay. That's very good. Well, how many viewers have we had all day? I think there's
835.
744 on yours
Yeah.
and 86.
Oh, yeah, it works. Hey.
I don't really understand that. Like we have the same amount of followers, don't we?
I think
I don't know.
people have tuned into this the past few weeks that I've been doing it, and I think
Oh,
gotten a lot
true.
of
Yeah, yeah,
enjoyment
yeah.
out of it. We kind of
That is the
expected
trick.
mhm,
Is scheduled and like
consistency.
expected. Yeah.
Mhm,
I have run into that in like an issue with a lot of my video content is
mhm.
that it was just so random. And people
Yeah.
would always be like, "How did you grow on TikTok?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's 'cause I was doing such random stuff, like
Mhm.
funny
The
stuff and then
algorithm is
teaching
weird.
about crypto and it's just
Mhm.
weird.
I
You
think
never
it's
know."
really just like publishing as much as you can is the only answer.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. Just like learning in public,
Mhm.
um, or teaching in public or whatever. Okay, sir, this was like so fun.
Yeah, thanks for
I'm
coming up.
so glad that we did this. This was so fun. I loved it.
Yeah, I think it was great. I think it was a good showing. We had a good like aha moment, which is always fun. Like getting to the point of
Yeah.
like, oh shit, we actually got it to work well.
Yep.
Um,
It's so
and
good.
uh, and yeah, and now I got some good something good to tweet about too. Of like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
let's see how people actually react to this. I'm excited about that. We got something done. It was like a feature I actually wanted to ship, so that's always a win too.
Yeah. That is really, really good. A Christian says, "Thank you, you two. You should do something like this every 2 weeks."
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I like
Well,
that.
we'll have to have you come back, Brooke, and maybe we'll keep. You should think about what you would want to build, and then you can
Yes.
lead the. I'll still do the cursor, but you can lead the like
Yeah.
feature and
That would be
functionality.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be awesome. I think I'm gonna stick to cursor, because I tried a little bit last night. I'm like, this is just easier,
It is.
than the Replit stuff because I
I
think
think
it's
it
that's
is.
made for people who don't have any coding experience. So,
I think you might get too many
yeah,
guardrails with Replit or some of the other
agreed.
stuff.
Agreed.
All
Okay,
right. Well,
sir.
cool. I hope everyone learned something.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me, Brooke.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, hopefully we see some good stuff come out of it. I think it's cool, always cool to see people be like, oh, I was inspired and I actually went and wrote something. So
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
awesome. Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
I'm out.
See ya.